Welcome to The Explainer. So, if you've been tracking Indian financial markets over the past decade, you know the vibe around public sector undertaking, or PSU banks, has been, well, pretty bleak, right? But scratch that. It's time to completely rethink how we view these institutions. Today, we're unpacking one of the most massive structural financial shifts in recent history. That whole era of the PSU Bank just being a sluggish value trap, yeah, that is officially over.
Okay, let's just dive right into it. Look at this number. 1.98 lakh crore rupees. Just to put that into perspective for a second, that combined net profit reported by PSU banks in FY26, it's literally larger than the GDP of several small countries. It completely shatters those old sluggish stereotypes we've all heard. We are not talking about some modest little bounce back here. We are talking about record-breaking profitability that honestly demands the market's full attention.
And actually, this next number might be even more crucial. 1.93%. That is the gross non-performing assets, or GNPA ratio. We are talking record lows, the lowest levels in modern PSU banking history. The sheer, staggering scale of the financial cleanup it took to drag NPAs down to this level is just unprecedented. It's totally rewritten the balance sheet strength of these lenders.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover 1. The Great PSU Comeback. 2. Meet the Big Five. 3. Mid-cap movers and valuations. 4. Why are they winning? And 5. Risks and the road ahead. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. The Great PSU Comeback. A historic turnaround.
You know, to really appreciate where we are right now, we kind of have to look in the rearview mirror. For years, this sector was just bogged down by a massive NPA crisis. It was a huge drag on the broader economy. And you can clearly see the contrast here. The old consensus was pretty brutal. PSU banks were weak, inefficient value traps. You bought them cheap and, well, they stayed cheap. But fast forward through the last 4 years, and we've witnessed an absolute historic transformation. These banks have morphed into highly profitable, well-capitalized growth engines. They went from playing pure defense with weak balance sheets to playing aggressive offense with solid capital adequacy and record earnings.
Moving on to Section 2, let's meet the Big Five and profile the leaders. Now, this sector is incredibly diverse, and the top players definitely have their own distinct identities. So let's give each of these major banks a clear, relatable market personality. First up, State Bank of India, the king. And look, it's absolutely crucial to understand that SBI isn't just India's largest PSU bank. It's quite literally one of the most systemically important financial institutions in all of Asia. Basically, when SBI moves, the whole market moves.
And they hold that crown for good reason. They've got this massive deposit franchise with the strongest CASA, meaning cheap, current, and savings account deposits, out of all their peers. Throw in a dominant retail loan book and arguably the best digital ecosystem out there with YONO. Plus, they've got powerhouse subsidiaries like SBI Life, Cards, and Mutual Fund. SBI is the government banker, an infrastructure financier, and a highly reliable crisis stabilizer. Thanks to sharply reduced NPAs, strong treasury gains, and a vastly improved return on equity, people are increasingly comparing SBI directly to the large private banks. It's a multi-year breakout stock offering low to medium risk.
Next up, we have Bank of Baroda. So if SBI is the king, BOAB is the balance performer. Over time, it's steadily evolved into one of the best managed entities in the entire PSU space.
Now, what's really interesting here is how Bank of Baroda just perfectly blends growth visibility with stability. They have a highly capable treasury business and a really significant international footprint. Analysts absolutely love Bob for its excellent margin management, its strict cost controls, and an operating efficiency that just consistently outpaces a lot of its peers. With stable credit costs and solid retail growth, you get lower volatility. For a long-term investor looking for a mix of stability and valuation comfort, it's an incredibly attractive play.
All right, on to our third player, Punjab National Bank, the turnaround trader. PNB has a totally different, highly aggressive market personality.
This is basically the ultimate underdog story of the group. PNB was, as you probably remember, heavily damaged by the Nirav Modi fraud crisis a few years back. But today, the outlook has completely flipped. NPAs are falling rapidly, provisioning is way better, and profitability is definitely on the mend. But because of that rocky history, PNB is highly volatile. It thrives on sector sentiment. When PSU banks rally, PNB is your high beta momentum candidate, which means it is wired to move much faster and sharper than the broader market. It's your classic high-risk, high-reward turnaround play.
Number 4 on our list is Canara Bank, the fundamental compounder. Following its merger integration and a pretty massive NPA cleanup, Canara Bank has quietly stepped up as an incredibly strong performer.
Market analysts are genuinely impressed by Canara Bank's stable management execution. They're bringing strong retail lending and improving return on assets and some serious loan growth momentum to the table. And just look at the setup. You've got an attractive valuation paired with solid earnings growth and really healthy institutional participation. Because of this strong uptrend structure and much better balance sheet, the market isn't just seeing Canara as a cheap value play anymore. They're viewing it as a high-quality, compounding stock that steadily builds wealth over time. Finally, rounding out the Big Five, we have Indian Bank, the silent quality. This is an institution totally defined by its highly disciplined, grounded nature.
Indian Bank really doesn't chase aggressive, risky growth. Instead, they double down on highly conservative lending practices. And that translates directly to excellent asset quality and superior risk management. Their operations are super efficient, provisioning is strong, and their capital management is just stellar. Because it's way less speculative, the stock usually shows these gradual, trend-based movements with much lower volatility. It is the absolute perfect choice if you're a cautious investor prioritizing stability over a wild ride.
Section 3. Mid-cap movers and valuations. Taking a look at the broader market. So we've covered the massive players, but the PSU landscape is incredibly rich beyond just those big five. This beautifully illustrates the landscape at a glance. You see SBI taking the best overall spot and Canara offering the best risk-reward. But scan down the list a bit. If you want the best mid-cap opportunity, Bank of Maharashtra is leading the pack with the fastest operational improvements. Or, if you're hunting for deep value, Union Bank really stands out with a strong merger recovery and growth theme. Basically, this sector offers a specific instrument for almost any investment strategy you might have. But here is the absolute crux of the investment thesis. Despite this massive profit rally we've been talking about, typical PSU banks are still trading significantly cheaper than their large private bank counterparts. We're talking lower price-to-book and price-to-earnings ratios while offering much higher dividend yields. Think about it. The growth perception for private banks is already priced in, but for PSUs, that perception is still actively improving. That means the re-rating potential, essentially the market finally waking up and pricing PSUs closer to those fancy private peers based on their actual fundamental strength, is a massive ongoing theme right now.
Section 4. Why are they winning? Let's look at the macro drivers.
The transformation is obvious, but why exactly is this happening right now? Well, let's just step through the logic. First off, that historic NPA reduction down to 1.93% freed up a ton of capital. Second, FY26 marked the fourth consecutive year of profitability, so this isn't a fluke, it's a solid trend. Third, we're seeing strong credit growth across retail, MSME, and agriculture with double-digit expansion. Fourth, and this is absolutely critical, the infrastructure boom. PSU banks are the primary engines financing the very roads you drive on, alongside massive railways, defense, and renewable energy projects. And fifth, the sector re-rating, driven by vastly better governance and improved capital adequacy. Simply put, they are just fundamentally better-run businesses today.
Section 5. Risks and the road ahead. Let's ground the outlook.
Now, as enthusiastic as the market is right now, we always have to stay objective. The crucial point here is that this rally isn't without its advanced risks. Future RBI provisioning norms could always unexpectedly impact the bottom line. We also have to keep a close eye on the interest rate cycle. If rates fall, net interest margins, or NIMs, are definitely going to be pressured. Plus, a global recession could easily trigger corporate loan stress. Also, because they are government-owned, political lending pressures can sometimes impact optimal capital allocation. And finally, fierce deposit competition. Private banks and aggressive fintechs are constantly out there fighting for the exact same capital. So these are the headwinds investors must objectively monitor going forward.
Which brings us to our final thought. The overarching theme of this entire explainer is a transition from a simple recovery story to a real structural profitability story. We've seen the massive cleanup, we've seen the record profits, and we've definitely seen the infrastructure tailwinds. But looking ahead to the 2026 to 2030 horizon, if GDP stays above 6% and credit growth continues, is the PSU boom actually a permanent structural reality for the Indian economy? It's a massive financial transition, and for sure one you'll want to keep tracking very closely. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay curious.